What's up, Buffs Nation, and welcome into Buffs Blitz with my co-host David Talks Buffs and myself, Russ. We appreciate you for joining us on this Wednesday night. Dave is rocking, of course, the Taco Bell Jordan Seaton shirt. I meant to put on my Julian Lewis shirt, but it's in the wash right now. I wear it regularly. So,
Sorry.
No, you're good. How
you
doing tonight, David? How you doing?
Dude, man, I'm doing great. It's always much better talking about the Buffs after a win, and I just feel so good. I feel so good, and I'm not scared of anybody that we got left on the schedule. I'm not even Utah. They're supposed to, welcome us into their stadium and kick our butts, right? But hey, I think that I'm just feeling very good after beating a ranked opponent. How about that, man?
That's right.
This is a great week to have a bye week, Russ, man. So how are you feeling after everything? And I forget, were you at the game?
No, I got invited to the game. We had our adoption classes on Saturday, unfortunately. So I'll just say I had my phone on underneath the desk watching that game and cheering it on. And then I got to listen to the radio on the drive home for that last couple of series with the interception, the play to Joseph Williams, the post game, which was absolutely hilarious, David. If you can go find the post game interview on 850 KOA for the game, they interviewed Joseph Williams about his game, and Michael Irving just jumped on the microphone and started yelling and screaming and talking about how Joseph Williams did exactly what he told him to do. And Joseph Williams was like, yep, he told me how to run that route on that last play, and I did it exactly how he said, and we executed and got the first down. So it was funny getting to see that and hear that. But man, I was freaking out in that car that we finally closed out a big victory like that game. So I'm just glad that the Buffs got a win against a ranked opponent. And now, Dave, in the Coach Prime era, CU has 2 ranked wins.
Yes.
How many does Nebraska have in the last 10 years, Dave?
Oh, are they at 2? 2 in the last 10 years? They're still at 0. They still haven't beaten a ranked opponent this year. They haven't played.
They have not beaten a ranked opponent.
What has become of the Big Ten? What has become of the Big Ten?
I don't know, Dave.
And
I don't know.
Should we just say it, man?
Yeah.
Matt Rule, he's already had successful out there in the state of Pennsylvania, right? Seems like he's the big favorite to go out there. I think it's only a $12 million buyout if he's hired there. That's going to be interesting to see if he didn't necessarily shoot down those rumors of him being wanted for that job.
Can we just talk about that when all of these coaches, everybody wanted to give Coach Prime crap, for always having his name up in, rumors and stuff. But whenever that happened, what was the first thing he said? He said, no. I have no interest in going to the NFL. I have no interest in going anywhere else. This is where I belong. All these other coaches are like, well, if my wife wants to leave, it's up to my wife what we do. Or, even Kurt Cignetti kind of dancing around the answer and not just staying straight out no for other jobs. What are you doing as coaches if you're not saying no? That to me tells me that they are interested in potentially taking the other jobs.
Now I'm thinking about it, Russ. Maybe it was Kurt Cignetti's buyout I was looking at. I think Matt Rule's buyout would be less than Kurt Cignetti's since he signed that deal.
Yeah, so I looked at the numbers with that. It's going to be because Indiana fans were all up in arms online, just how he's not going to leave, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, I think it's like $10 million for the buyout. So people were saying, okay, so you got $50 million for the Franklin buyout, you got $10 million for Cignetti's buyout, then you got to pay Cignetti, who's making $8 million, I think. And there was talks about
a new deal this offseason.
I know, but he's not getting paid the most of any coach. He just got a big raise. I'll read you what it is because I think what I read. What I read about Cignetti was $10 million to buy him out. Okay. And then on top of that, he'd have to get a raise. Okay. Yeah. He'd have to get a raise when it comes to if he goes anywhere else. Yeah, he's making $8 million a year.
What a bargain! What a bargain!
I know.
From Indiana.
And so they're talking about him becoming one of the highest paid coaches in football, which would be around $12 million. I saw, Dave, tell me how dumb this is, though. I saw an Indiana fan say, oh, so he's going to get a $4 million raise to go to Penn State. Like, he's not going to go for $4 million. And I'm like, how does anybody in the world think that $4 million is not a lot of money? Like, in what world is $4 million, Dave, not enough money to leave a job? If somebody gave me $1 million tomorrow, I would leave my job and go anywhere they wanted.
Hey, it's not like going from Bloomington, Indiana to Boulder, Colorado, right? Or like to LA, right? So I imagine, Happy Valley and Bloomington, they probably got around the same cost of living too. So, man, it's going to be interesting to see what Penn State does, man, because I think that they had to make a change. They've, big game James just came up short too often in those big games. And yeah, I'm very excited. And it's also kind of nice. And silver linings of a down year is that, hey, our coach isn't going to get poached for any of these big time jobs. So,
well,
we don't even have to talk about it. We don't even have to talk about it.
It's funny because what was the job that I just saw? Oh, the Titans job in the NFL opened up because they fired their coach. And, people immediately said Deion Sanders. And I'm just like, and it's people, by the way, who have been criticizing Deion Sanders every week for being a terrible coach. And all of a sudden now he's good enough to coach in the NFL. Or several of my commenters regularly who are like, oh, eventually Coach Prime's going to go to the SEC. I'm like, you're in my comments every day saying that Coach Prime is a terrible coach. And yet somehow now the SEC is going to come calling and wanting to pay him, wanting to pay his buyout and all that stuff. Like, that's absolutely crazy.
Now, maybe if we go on a tear, and this is where I'll give Coach Prime his credit, man. And where, I have been harsh and critical of him in the game management areas throughout the history of my channel and his time here. But I think this Iowa State game was one of his best coached games. I think he had a wonderful feel for the moment. And pretty much every button that he pushed was the right one. This past weekend against Iowa State. Coach Prime out-coached, why am I blanking on his name? The Iowa State coach that is somehow in contention also for this Penn State job, according to the sports books. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I think he's done a pretty good job with Iowa State in terms of just, they're always in there. They're at the end of the top 25, and that's nothing to take for granted. As a Buffs fan, man, Iowa State, they're building something nice there, but we were the better team. We had more talent. And Russ, I got to give you credit, man. Got to give you credit. You called this victory, right? Break it down. Did everything you say happen? What'd you think watching the replay?
But I only had us, if I remember right, I think I had us winning by 3 in a close game. We end up winning by 7? Yeah. 7 was the total that we won by. Again, we start off great. I want to give huge props, and I'm going to continue to give props no matter what people say, because, if anybody wants to be a stat watcher instead of an actual game watcher, knows that the defense is not great, right? But they're doing enough. They're doing enough. Yards allowed, absolutely horrendous. Points allowed, though, we're top 50 in the country.
Good.
Like, what does that tell you that this defense is doing and this team is able to do? Like, we've improved over last year's point totals. So, like, the defense is that quintessential bend but do not break. And we saw that in the first half with Iowa State. I will say we got a little bit lucky. Iowa State receivers were dropping balls. Rocco Becht wasn't throwing the ball very well. So it helped out CU big time. But in that first half, I believe what I saw, if I'm right, Iowa State only had like 1 first down conversion, like almost the entire first half on third down. Yeah. Like, that is absolutely insane that they had that going. And they gave the offense every chance to pull away in that game. Unfortunately, we got the first half CU offense that was absolutely terrible. You and I were texting throughout that whole time, talking about it, wondering if
bench him there at the beginning.
I know. Does CU look at Juju for the second half? Like, it was the same Salter that we had seen. And then Salter goes on to have the best half of football that he has ever had in a CU uniform in the second half, making clutch throws. But what I loved about this, Dave, I think we found our identity. I think we ran the ball way more than we threw the ball in that game. And a lot of that had to do with also Kaidon Salter running the ball. He kind of led by example. I think that's who we needed. That's what we talked about in the offseason that this team needed to be, was we needed to be a run-first team. We need to control the clock. We need to put the ball in Salter's hands to run it, not throw it. And then when he needs to, make some clutch plays throwing the ball. But that's it. You don't need to be superhero. You don't need to, throw for 400 yards. Let's be a much more balanced / more run-heavy team. And that's exactly what we saw in that second half, Dave. That's what we saw in the second half from Salter. He made some amazing throws when he needed to. But the rest of it was, let's ground and pound it. Let's run it out. Let's do what we have to do there. Let's control the clock a little bit more. Let's score some points. And overall, it just looked better as this team. Can we keep that consistency going forward?
Dude, I sure hope so. I mean, when you have a victory like this, and before I forget, I want to give the crowd in the student section big props, man, because they brought it to Iowa State, and I think that home field advantage definitely played a part in us getting this upset. No doubt about it. So shout out to them. But I think, like, in retrospect, when we take a look at this game, why Kaidon Salter had more success, why the offense just had more success, it's going back to what you said, running the ball with the running back and the quarterback. And then maybe because, like, I think we all assumed that we would do some Liberty stuff. Those concepts that you'd run there. Maybe we haven't seen, like, speed option and stuff like that. But in terms of, like, you're running the ball and then you're taking, like, a ton of deep shots, right? I think with him coming out here, we thought, okay, like, we'll still see that, but we'll also see him work kind of the short intermediate game more. We'll be able to kind of target all over the field. I think that we've tried to do some of that, and maybe, like, we've tried to run some of those things where it's like, hey, we need you to read the defense, or, like, read the high-low on this. Not necessarily the best. Not the best reads, or, like, anticipation, not playing with the right timing, the right urgency. And I think in this game against Iowa State, man, we just kind of let them go, go play, run the ball, made the reads pretty easy for him. And he came up with some huge throws. And notice in the press conference, this is what I love to hear from him, is that on that last play, by the way, Coach Prime, call of the game, saying pass it on 3rd and 17. I would not have had the stones to do that.
Gary Barnett on the radio call, by the way, Dave, said that was an absolutely crazy call. He said he'd never do that in his entire life as a coach. Would never do that. And that was huge props on putting the ball in Salter's hands to win the game.
And Salter said, hey, I knew this look that I was getting, and I knew we were going to have Joseph Williams, over the middle of the field. And so that's what I'm talking about. Like, those are some of the things that I love to hear him talk about, that I think we had criticized him for most of this year for just having late throws, being indecisive. I love to hear him talk about the fact that he knew where he was going with the football. And if he knew where he was going with the football in that last play on offense, he knew where he was going with the football, to that deep shot to Omari and Miller and a few of the other fantastic passes that he had. Like, he was he was calm. He was zen, more zen in the second half. Sorry, Russ, I was speaking a lot. Take it away.
No, you're good. I mean, it's true. I mean, and again, we have to give props where props are due to Coach Prime, because, again, what I've been saying all along, Coach Prime is still a young coach. Like, it's his 5th year, 3rd year in the Power 4. He's still learning and figuring things out. He wasn't a coordinator or a positions coach or anything like that, like straight to head coach. So he's still learning. And what I love to see was the well-off videos showing the behind the scenes of him coaching up different players on the sidelines. I mean, a lot of people want to say that Coach Prime is not a X's and O's coach and he doesn't understand that part of the game. He's a motivator, all this stuff. He proved that in the video, like overhearing him talk about what's going to be open, what you need to look for, what you need to do with the ball. All of that was fantastic. And then to be able to, again, here's his strength, motivate and really push Salter and believe in him and put his faith in him and make that call. That is a way to really get somebody's confidence through the roof. And that was an absolutely perfect set of plays and decision-making that they did, and ultimately helped them, win the game.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still just so impressed, man, with those big-time throws. After falling down, I think it was at the half, coming out in the third quarter, throwing that 70-yard bomb to Omarion, man, and
the touchdown to Joseph Williams. I mean, that pass was ridiculous, fitting that in like a pin-size hole when it came to where his receiver could catch it and where no one else could to give us the lead. I mean, that's absolutely fantastic. Mm-hmm. Dave, I think the other part of this, and I started to talk about it, with the first half, what they did, the defense, Dave, they came up massive at the end of the game. They came up with the game-winning play on their end by giving us that ball back when we would have been down and out. Talk about the defense coming up with the big play, towards the end of the game. Tafik Bayard really came through for the Buffs, and has really, if I'm being honest, become the face of this defense.
Yes. Yeah, I was wearing my Cameron Silman Craig jersey on Saturday, so it was totally fitting that 7 got the interception, and again, just breaking his hand or his wrist, whatever it was. I don't know what he broke, but coming out there with a cast and picking that thing off, that was a tough catch to make. And yeah, nobody better to have made that play than Tawfiq Bayard. I love him so much. Already becoming one of my favorite Buffs on the team this year. And by the way, was that pass interference? Sure, but the refs made the right call. That throw wasn't anywhere near that guy, and I think you could argue that contact happened as Tawfiq Bayard was picking that thing, baby. So shout out to the Big 12 refs for not screwing us over in a game. How about that?
I mean, it is the right call because that ball's nowhere near him. My assumption is they were not on the same page. Rocco Becht and the receiver weren't. Yeah. Like, he was expecting him to come back, and the receiver just, I don't know what he ended up or was going to run, but he just kept going, never came back on a hitch or comeback route, whatever it was that he was thinking it was supposed to be. So it's a good no call when it comes to that. And so I love to see it. Dave, the other thing we got to talk about, we have got the future defensive player of the year on this defense. The guy that is going to lead us into the next 2 to 3 years. London Merritt is absolutely destroying and balling on this defense as a true freshman. Okay? Anybody out there that wants to say that people shouldn't go to Colorado as a high school recruit, I'm sorry, but I guarantee you if London Merritt goes to Ohio State, if he goes to wherever else he was looking at originally, he is not playing the meaningful snaps that he is playing at Colorado and absolutely balling out as a true freshman. He is, I mean, between him and Alex McPherson, Dave, we are set on the edge for years to come. I'm very excited for what the future holds for this team looking at that.
Yeah, man, London Merritt was huge in this game. He had 1.5 TFLs. He has 4 on the year, man.
So as a freshman.
Yeah, he's really coming along. The sack numbers aren't necessarily there, but he'll get there, man. You see him getting pressures again as a true freshman. You'll take that all the time, and he was just disruptive. He was disruptive on that Iowa State defense, man, the entire game. And yeah, shout out to London Merritt, man. 2 tackles, but hey, he made them count, and 1.5 TFLs. Alexander McPherson, 4 tackles on the day. And I saw today that I think we offered a class of 2027 offensive linemen there from IMG. I think that with the success that we've seen from Jordan Seaton and these gentlemen that we just mentioned right now, I mean, it's all good stuff to continue this pipeline from IMG for years to come, man. Like, I'm very impressed with them.
Yeah, and we can talk recruiting here in a little bit because the team is using this bye week to recruit hard. Yeah. And there's a lot of fun things to talk about when it comes to that. But yeah, I mean, you see what the freshmen are doing on this team, Quentin Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
You see London Merritt, Alex McPherson. A lot of people want to talk to me, Dave. Monday, a lot of people made the point of, again, portal sucks. The portal's dumb. You shouldn't be going to the portal hard. Oh, Colorado's got 38 people who are, no longer going to be in the team this year because of ineligibility, once they lose their eligibility this year. And I'm like, do you know how many people on every football team out there leaves each year? Like Ohio State's at like 34. You look at any of the top teams, there are 30 plus guys that are going to be graduating and no longer on that roster. What the key is for Colorado right now, Dave, the players that are balling out the most are the players with multiple years of eligibility. Joseph William, Dallin Hayden still has a couple. You now look London Merritt. You look at Tafiq Byard has another year of eligibility. He's not going to go out for the NFL this year. I think he's going to come back and ball out.
Right.
Alex McPherson. You look on the offensive line, obviously Jordan Seaton, by the way, midseason All-American announced today, and Jordan Seaton named a midseason All-American for the country at left tackle. We've got the pieces for multiple years to come. So no matter what our record is, no matter what people want to say about us underperforming or having a bad season, they're not paying attention to what Colorado is building right now towards in the next year or two. And then on the fact that you have Julian Lewis on the back burner ready to go next year for this team. And I don't know if you watched Well Off today. I mean, they did a JV scrimmage where all of the non-starters played in a game. Julian Lewis was balling. He was balling in that game. And so he is going to be ready to go next year. And this is going to be a very different offense heading into next season as well.
Yeah. All that just gets me excited, man. Yeah, we're going to have turnover on this roster. To me, it's just really important. One thing that I do want to see this year is just the guys that have eligibility, like you pointed out. I want to see them stay. I don't want us to lose guys that we see having like a substantial future on, for this program over the next few years. So that's something that I feel good about. And again, just having one transfer portal window, I think is going to limit the amount of movement. But you got to do both well. You got to do high school and the portal well. And we have another. I mean, I would say this. I don't think we have 4 portal starters on our offensive line next year. But I think probably a good half, 2, 3 of our guys next year starting on the offensive line are going to be portal guys. But Gunnar White and the staff have shown that they can get the right guys to get it done, man. Jordan Seaton leading, I think, what's been our best position group by far, man, the offensive line. And we don't win that game against Iowa State. No way without them helping us run the ball.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think we're going to be fine. I mean, the players that are going to leave are either non-impactful or they're graduating. Like I said, the guys that I named off are probably going to stay, and those are the important ones. Chauncey Gooden, Cardi Smith, Quinnell Farrakhan, Quentin Gibson, obviously Julian Lewis, Micah, Yo-Yo, McPherson, London Merritt, our linebacker room, Kaidon Salter has more eligibility left, and he's balling out now. Even our defensive backs, as bad as it sounds, I mean, DJ McKinney may want to come back another year.
Oh, he absolutely
he has to. So, I mean, I'd love to have him back for a senior year. I'd like us to improve our defensive back. I've been trying to tell people this a lot as well when it comes to this team. Next year, especially with the freshmen that we're going to bring in, especially with the freshmen that are going to grow up and be at specific positions, we're not going to have to go after as impactful of transfer portal players. And the players that we do go after for specific spots, we can spend more money on the top dogs at a few positions that we know we need from the portal. Defensive tackle, that's going to be a priority, getting somebody big who can wedge in there. A linebacker, Dave, can we throw a lot of money down for a linebacker? And then defensive backs. I think that should be our focus when it comes to the transfer portal as far as paying for really high-end talent on those positions. Receiver, you'll get a couple receivers. They're always going to get that, even though people get pissed off that we keep adding so many receivers, except that's literally how college football works. Yeah. So we'll get some of those. We probably won't be paying for the top dogs and the receivers unless, there's somebody that wants to come to Colorado to play with Julian Lewis. But we're in a great position heading into next year. We'll add 2 to 3 offensive linemen, 2 to 3 defensive linemen, 2 to 3 defensive backs that need to be impactful. And that'll kind of be the focus, I think, where they spend a majority of their money. Heck, even running back, we don't really need to do much because of what we've started to see emerge from that running back room with Dallin Hayden, Michael Welsh, DeKalon Taylor. Yeah, Draylon. Cam Michael is starting to look better, and he had actually a really good scrimmage today. He had some really good plays. So I think he's going to develop nicely and be able to be a more impactful player come next year if he can stay healthy in the offseason.
Yeah, I would just like to see us, add some more depth to some of these rooms. We got plenty of wide receivers, but we've kind of been on the verge of being in some difficult situations, light at running back. We don't have a ton of scholarship running backs. So again, we don't need the highest paid guys or anything like that. There are plenty of 3-star running backs. I mean, wasn't, Anthony Hankerson, a 3-star guy, I'm assuming. So again, you can find plenty of fantastic running back talent out of high school. I think the one thing that I wish right now, and I'm sure we'll see this, Preston Ashley, I imagine he's going to be a safety. Yeah, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but it would be really nice to see Prime get involved in, some high-end corner recruiting battles in high school and in the transfer portal. We really haven't seen him hit it hard since, Cormani. But that is something if there's one expectation that I've had is that after the first year that we weren't ever going to see a burnt secondary. And that's probably been, I think, the biggest disappointment this year in terms of a position group. It's been the secondary. And I hope that we make a change there coaching wise this year going into next year. So I hope that will help. But yeah, I hope they can pull together a last good 5-6 games here. But it's definitely been disappointing. And I'm sure Coach Prime, Corey Phillips, all these guys are taking notes.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. I'm glad they're going hard on the recruiting. I'm interested to see what happens. Dave, interesting question for you. All the rumors out there right now today came out saying that it looks like Florida will be firing their coach by the weekend. And that came, yes, Napier will be fired this weekend. It sounds like the school has been talking to some boosters looking for that buyout money. And so he could be fired as soon as this weekend. Yeah, I hope you know what my question is going to be. If Florida fires Napier, do you think there is a reunion in the future with a more mature football playing Cormani McClain? Because fans on Twitter are going crazy asking for Cormani McClain to come back to Colorado.
Man, I am. I'm glad I haven't been on Twitter today, man. Here's the thing. I guess if it's good with Coach Prime, I'll warm up to it. But again, this is just me going to see you, all this stuff. But when you don't even know the name of the school that you're leaving, that pisses me off. So if he can show that he knows the name of the school, I'm a little bit more open to it.
That's hilarious. Yeah, it's a mixed bag. I mean, I love what I'm seeing from Cormani. He's definitely finally the player that he's supposed to be. He is maturing. I mean, he admitted it. I mean, it's not like he's blaming CU when they've asked him questions about it. He said it himself. He was a young and dumb kid who didn't do what he needed to do. So at least he's taking responsibility. I mean, he could easily blame Colorado and say, well, Colorado, delayed my development or did this or that. He just wasn't ready for college at that point. But I mean, here's the other thing, Dave. If that firing does happen, I mean, that's another ton of players that are, I mean, we're seeing some crazy, I mean, Penn State's entire recruiting class, by the way, has decommitted at this point.
Yeah.
For high school.
Cool, man. Yeah. It's going to be great. Yeah, we don't need Daves on the staff. Hey, man, I'm just giving you my take, man. People can have happy endings, apart from each other, man. I think I'm happy for Cormani, but yeah, man, I ain't feeling that right now. But I also wasn't feeling a win last week, and we got one. So, as long as the Buffs benefit from it, I'll be happy.
It's going to be interesting, Dave, and I've been wondering this, and tell me if you have all thought about this, but with the new transfer portal rules, with there being one transfer portal, I still don't love the timing of it because it's before the playoffs finish. My point is, if these coaches are going to take on these new jobs and need to use the portal, because let's be honest, Dave, they're going to lose their high school recruiting and it's going to be very minimal because they're going to get that job after National Signing Day at that point. So what is that going to look like for a first-year coach going into a program? And you could potentially not have high school recruiting, and you could potentially not have the portal at this point because of the dates that they're using and only one portal.
Man, it's going to be interesting. That's why I think you could see a little Brian Kelly situation pop up right now. Remember, Brian Kelly left the Notre Dame Fighting Irish for LSU after they had essentially clinched a college football playoff spot, which is unreal, man. So, yeah, like the timing of this when it comes to the season, it's weird. The offseason starts while the playoffs are going on or haven't started yet. It's really messed up. But, yeah, I think that because you're only having one portal situation right now, it could lead to one of these coaches leaving right at the end of the season, right before the postseason starts. And
if they're planning to, they almost have to.
Yeah.
And then do you think that they pull a Coach Prime and their program lets them, play out their championship aspirations while knowing full well that they're leaving?
Absolutely not, man. Dude, that would never have happened at a Power 4 school. Never. The only reason that happened was because it was at JSU, dude. It was at a lower level. Yeah, you're never going to see that, I don't think. So, yeah, things are about to get real slimy, which means it's going to get really entertaining.
Jamel, interesting little bit of tidbit on your question. That did change in the last couple of weeks because UCLA had a portal automatically open. They changed the rule that the portal only opens when they name a new head coach. So it allows you to leave once they've named a new head coach, but you cannot leave if your head coach leaves. It's the weirdest thing that they decided to change. That was something that came up. It's why you have not seen any Penn State players hit the portal, so to speak, since James Franklin's firing. It has changed a little bit. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see who else is going to lose their job. The other thing I want people to pay attention to is these head coaches that lose their job. Who are competent offensive play callers who are losing their jobs? Because they could be added to the short list for CU play callers, if I'm being completely honest. Now,
please.
I don't think James Franklin is of any interest. I don't think that Napier would be of any interest offensive play calling wise. I'm not sure. I haven't taken a dip down that. But you got to pay attention to that because sometimes coaches are just not good head coaches. They might be a good coordinator, but they're not a good head coach. And they might make a better offensive coordinator.
Man, I don't know. This is just my feeling. I was talking about it in the last video I dropped. I bet with this new offensive coordinator, dude, it's going to be like a Robert Livingston, Gunnar White thing. It's just going to come out of nowhere, dude.
Just a random person that we've never even thought about.
Yeah. I don't think we're hiring a high-profile guy. It's probably going to be somebody who hopefully has been around really good play calling for a long time, but has not called plays yet.
You know, it would be a dream that I think would be interesting to see. I don't think it ever happened. No, that one's a good one. That was a very good one. No, there's a certain NFL head coach that I think is on the hot seat. That's a pretty darn good offensive play caller. And he might be in the state of Florida. But I'd be interested to see a Mike McDaniel go the college route. Because the dude is he's creative when it comes to offensive play calling. Let's be honest.
I could see him being a better college coach than NFL coach, honestly, with how He's not Gen Z, but he comes off as like a total
I
Gen
know.
Z
I
head
don't know.
coach.
Does he have the aura to pull high schoolers? I think he could be a great coordinator. The question is, would a team? I think a team would probably risk, head coaching position when it came to him for college. So it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting. A lot of people love. Oh, I forgot too. By the way, he's a Colorado native.
Yeah, exactly.
We're
He was
forgetting.
a ball boy for the Broncos, man.
Yeah, he was a ball boy for the
my
Broncos
fans.
back when they were doing the training camp in Greeley. Like that's how back he goes.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. What's funny is everybody's loving that. Okay, I got a take that actually most of the fans in our chat actually like and agree with.
Hey, I like it. Yeah, Mike McDaniel's done. I think, I feel like the Leftwich thing is like lost all steam. I don't
know what happened. It just never seemed like he was like loving it. Like, you see guys like Randy Moss and Terrell Owens and these other players that are around the team, Dave, and they just seem so like juiced up to be around these kids. And Leftwich just seemed like he was just burdened by doing this. And it was almost I got nothing better to do at this point, and so I'm going to hang out here and then all of a sudden just disappear overnight.
Dude, it's very strange to see him not brought in to call plays anywhere in the NFL. Like
something's going on.
Oh yeah, something ain't right there. I don't know. He needs to find a new agent or something.
I have no idea what's going on with Leftwich. At this point, I think that ship sailed. Like he's not back yet. I don't know what happened.
But get a young guy here that is full of energy, that will hit the recruit. Gunnar White, dude, he's been doing all that, man. And yeah.
All the coaches
that we hear, I'm going to come on and be like, man, I don't know about this, but it's going to turn out just fine.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. It's going to be an interesting offseason for sure. Like not to jump ahead already to that because we're still obviously in the season and now we're in the bye week. But the nice part about the bye week, and somebody said this online because they started like previewing next year's schedule. Like the bye week is a good time to look ahead and kind of think about, okay, what is the future going to look like for the Buffs now that we can kind of reset this weekend? And so I'm very interested to see what Colorado ends up doing. It's going to be a very fascinating offseason for sure. As always. I mean, let's be honest. Colorado has one of the best off seasons ever. When Prime gets in that portal, we have coaching changes every single year. It's going to be really interesting to see what this team is able to accomplish this season. Speaking of which, figure might as well, before we get into some recruiting news, we can talk about all the recruiting because there's a lot of recruiting stuff happening right now, by the way, Dave. Why don't we get into our sponsors? And you can talk to us, of course, about your sponsor and what you want to see this weekend with Profit X.
Profit X, baby. Thank you to Profit X. Russ, thank you for your partnership. Being cool with this. I love Profit X, guys, and Profit X loves you. Use my promo code Dave. Get up to $200 in profit cash in your first 30 days playing as a nice little bonus. It's peer-to-peer sports prediction. So, guys, you make your own plays. Make your own lines. So you're pretty much guaranteed to get the best lines compared to all the stuff on this, traditional sports books. So, guys, we don't have the Colorado Buffaloes to make plays on, but I will tell you what I just made my play on, and I guess it refreshed because I had it up here. My play of the week is none other than USC taking on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And you know what I got right now? I got USC getting the win over Notre Dame. And guys, look, you can make your own lines. And I actually got it at plus 300 just 30 minutes ago. So be sure, again, use my promo code Dave. Get on that. And I know you hate USC, but you hate Notre Dame more, right? I think this is the year that USC gets it done, man. This USC team has a little bit more grit to it than we've seen in the past. They got some momentum going on into South Bend. That's my big upset of the week right there. USC over Notre Dame. Shout out to Profit X. Thank you, Russ.
Appreciate it, of course.
Do I have to give your social to sign up with Profit X? I can't remember.
Yes, you do.
Promo code Dave.
You do. It is a US based betting service. So because of that, you do have to give over your social because tax purposes. But remember, I'm not a professional tax accountant, so don't listen to me on that. Okay. And our other sponsor, of course, as always, is our friends over at The Bell. Taco Bell. That's right. Taco Bell. We appreciate Taco Bell for their partnership with Buffs News Weekly and David Talks Buffs. They have been absolutely fantastic this season, being a sponsor for the entire season. And if you have not tried Taco Bell's Cantina Chicken menu, well, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Taco Bell has launched a new era of chicken, and it's not your parents' poultry. The Cantina Chicken menu debuts a new flavorful chicken that is slow roasted, perfectly seasoned with Mexican spices, including garlic, onions, and a variety of chilies. Additional premium ingredients highlighted on the menu include shredded purple cabbage, white corn tortilla shells freshly fried, and pico de gallo freshly prepared daily. The amazing shredded chicken and a crispy white corn tortilla with cheese inside and out. Unbelievable item, by the way. Unbelievable item. Highly recommend it. Wrapped in a burrito with fresh purple cabbage, pico, or inside a Cantina chicken quesadilla if you're looking for menu items. However you like it, you're never chicken the same way. And of course, make sure you go get your Buffs box. Hey, Kevin Riley, my man Kevin Riley, who was at the game, invited me to the game. He did send me some pictures, Dave, and guess what? He went and got his Buffs box when he was in Boulder. Came to visit Boulder, came to the CU-ISU game, got his Buff box, got his Quentin Gibson cup when he went. So make sure you get your Buff box today. And of course, Taco Bell is a proud sponsor of CU Athletics and will be donating $1,000 to the Golden Buffalo Scholarship Foundation for every CU touchdown scored. And guess what? We hit 21 again. 3 touchdowns again. We're doing pretty good with that. I mean, it's 3 touchdowns every week at a minimum, it seems. And CU will get $3,000 for the Golden Buffalo Scholarship. Buffs love the Bell. Sco Buffs, Liv Moss. Appreciate you, Taco Bell, for helping us out. Buddy, I absolutely loved the Mexamelt when I was younger. That was my go-to. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. But Dave, we've got some recruiting news. You mentioned it earlier. The biggest news of the day, and I covered it on a video, is the Buffs have offered 2028 5-star #1 offensive tackle in the class from IMG Academy, Jamarios Canton. And David, this kid is dominant. His freshman year, he was at another school. You watch his tape on that, by the way, you can tell why he went to IMG, because it was embarrassing what he was doing to the other teams. Literally every play is a pancake, or he's literally driving somebody off the field and over the fence. Okay, so he went over to IMG, which, as we know, Dave, IMG is going to make you right. IMG is going to get you right and ready for college. And the fact is, this kid is a 5-star as a sophomore. Dave, as a sophomore, he is already a 5-star #1 offensive tackle in the country. I posted a video about it. And guess what? Mr. Jamar Rios followed me, liked the video, loved the love that he is seeing from Buff Nation, especially because I think he wants to follow in the footsteps of Jordan Seaton. And I think he is the #1 target for Colorado coming up, which is absolutely massive, because guess what? There's your Jordan Seaton replacement once Jordan Seaton's ready to go. However, depends. If Jordan Seaton leaves next year, which I bet he will, because I feel like he's a first-round talent even as a junior, we'll have a year where we'll have to figure something out. But we will have that potentially coming our way. And also, the Buffs are going crazy today with offers for 2027 and 2028. Good. All of the recruiters are on the road. Coach Shad, Johnny Max on the road, Coach Phillips. Heck, even Pecco is in California right now recruiting this week. But there was a question in regards to Tally, the running back, who, by the way, Christopher Tally, West Virginia running back, 3-star. Both Johnny Mack and Corey Phillips were at his high school today. Love that. Tally was in Boulder this past weekend at the ISU game. So what happens when the recruiting staff hosts them, and then immediately goes to their high school the next week. What usually happens when that happens, Dave?
Yeah, things are looking good, man. And we beat the Mountaineers to cap off being bowl eligible.
Ooh, that would look pretty good about that. That would
Yeah.
look pretty good about that. I'm absolutely loving what this team is doing. They're going really hard. I think a lot of people feel really high on Tally Flippin, especially after this weekend. We saw a ton of recruits there. And what I love too, Dave, and you tell me, I mean, we saw all the recruits that are already committed at the game this weekend.
Yes.
And they all went on Twitter soon after the game and were like, don't worry, we are locked in. We are locked in with the Buffs no matter what. You know, Buffs all day. So, you know, our guys, Gavin Mueller was there at the game. Preston Ashley was there at the game. He said he's locked in. He said he's shutting down his recruitment in total. His mom said that they found their home. He quoted one of my tweets about him. Like, he's super excited. Gavin's super excited. Several of the guys are super excited. The only one we haven't really heard of because he wasn't there this weekend, but he is going on visits elsewhere, is our number one defensive tackle commit, Emmanuel Ruffin. Yep. Emmanuel Ruffin. So we'll have to see. We'll have to pay attention to his recruitment. It's still open, but the rest of the guys are absolutely locked in, and I absolutely love what I'm seeing because, guys, Gavin is the truth, guys. If this guy had been playing football his whole career and early, he'd be a 5-star right now.
Dude, I can't wait for Gavin Mueller to come out here, man. Yeah, I love it. I love that they're all getting together. They're all meeting each other, and they get to see some winning, man. And, yeah, I was reading some of the quotes that the kids had, and they just continue to talk about how it's just a very unique atmosphere, man. And I think that's why we're still going to pull recruits, even if we're not having the greatest year right now, is that some people are going to really be attracted to just how unique the program is here. And I love to see it. So yes, man, I don't really care. You know, of course the stars are very exciting, but at the end of the day, you want dudes that are locked in, that are able to see the vision. And I think it's more likely you get those guys in high school, you know, and they become those leaders of the team later on. So
that's right.
I love it, man. I love it, Russ.
And really interesting little tidbit for those of you that haven't known about this. So DNVR and RK started a show with Aqib Talib. And the very first episode, they talked some Buffs, Dave. And Aqib Talib had something very interesting to say. And he talked about what you just said. The aura, the specialness of Boulder right now in Colorado. And he said, because his kids, by the way, are playing, you know, high school, middle school ball. They're coming up through the ranks. He said all his kids, all their friends, they see what's happening at Colorado. And trust me, it interests them. Yeah. Okay. They see, and what Aqib Talib said is what I've been saying since Prime got here. Eyeballs. It's all about the eyeballs. If you want to go somewhere and ball out and get the attention, I get it. You're going to get the attention at your Ohio States, Florida, all that. It's a little bit different at Colorado, Dave, because there isn't that legacy that you're following up, okay? It isn't normal to see players excelling at Colorado. You know, there's just something different about excelling at a place like Colorado, on top of the fact that you're with Coach Prime, on top of the fact that we're one of the most watched and eyeballed team in the country every week, whether that's because you hate us or that's because you love us. You're watching the game either out of love or hate watching, and that's just the way it is. So it's absolutely crazy to hear that from him. So to all those people out there that think, oh, Coach Prime's not recruiting and blah, 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 all this stuff, like, it's out there, okay? It's out there, and the kids understand it, and they want to be here. They want to be in this place. They really do.
Oh, I love that, man. That'd be cool to have Aqib Talib's kids out here, man, because he's one of my favorite Broncos of this era, no doubt about it. So, yeah, bring it on, man. And yeah, I guess unless you got other things to bring it back to the season, I think that, hey, if we're able to come out of the bye week and finish this season really strong, I think that, again, like, it's kind of my hope that we could get this high school recruiting class up to 25 kids, man. I think that would be really great. And if if we finish bowl eligible after starting 2-4, I think that's going to look really, really good on Coach Prime. That's going to look really, really good for the future of the program going into next year. Again, not the year that maybe we thought, but there's still the chance, man. I guess, any given Saturday in college football, we could still win out and still go 8-4. I ain't gonna call it with this team though, but I will be rooting for it. But what say you, man? Do you think? How are you feeling right now in terms of our bowl hopes?
The more I looked at the schedule and looked at what we have left, I think there are 3 wins on that schedule if we play our game. Okay, we have the talent, we have the ability, we have all of this stuff going on. So I absolutely think that we can make bowl eligibility now. That is the goal for this team. 3 victories is what we need. Unfortunately, the loss to TCU kind of stopped the hopes of a Big 12 championship appearance. Okay. Guys, that's just the way it is. Okay. There's nothing you can do about it, but bowl eligibility should be the goal. That should be the focus. And I absolutely do think we can do it. I think West Virginia is winnable. I think Kansas State is winnable. And then I think one of Arizona, Arizona State is starting to have some chinks in the armor. They're not looking like
Jeff Sims again. You saw how that went last week.
Yeah. I would love a Jeff Sims matchup again. DJ McKinney would feast on that. Goodness gracious, would that be insane? But we'll see what happens with that. We still got a couple weeks till Arizona State. So my guess, I'm assuming Levitt will be healthy by then, but who knows what's going on with that program. What's really going to be interesting, Dave, as this season goes on, you're really going to find out who the best coaches are, even on teams that are underperforming. Because when teams start to underperform and they start losing games and they don't have much to play for down the stretch, who's going to give up on their team? Who is going to not be able to play hard against some of these opponents? I mean, I hope that Coach Prime can keep this team together and keep pushing it forward. I assume that he can. That could spell easier victories in a game like West Virginia, in a game like Kansas State, if they're not playing for things, depending on what's going on there. Because I know that both of those, West Virginia obviously just getting back their new coach, return of their old coach. But Kansas State, how is that going? I mean, that seems like a dumpster fire from where they were supposed to be. To go from a team that was favorited to win the Big 12 to where they are right now, where it's like they're on the brink of, really not much to play for this season.
Where we are.
I know. And so, there's both sides to that. I mean, you've got the rumors of like the Dylan Edwards stuff coming out about his injury and about potentially transferring out already in the middle of the season. Luckily, Colorado has yet to get any of those stories to come out. Okay. Nobody has come out and said that they're transferring yet early. We haven't had any announcements of redshirting, even though I'm pretty sure there's several people in the injury reports each week that are probably redshirting and they just haven't announced it. But Dave, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good about this. I think overall we've got a good chance moving forward.
I think so, man. And credit to Coach Prime, man, for keeping this team together.
Yeah.
Amidst all the chaos going into this game against Iowa State, because it could have all gone off the rails. And yeah, who's to say, man? Utah, they're not getting a break before we play them. I haven't looked at Utah too closely, so I don't have a prediction, dude. But dude, we just beat the number 22 team in the country at the time, and to me, we shouldn't be scared of anybody in the Big 12, dude. We can beat anybody on any given weekend.
Yeah.
Hey, if we just play sound, disciplined football, that's what we did against Iowa State.
Yes.
Like, we didn't turn over the ball.
Bingo.
And we got turnovers. And I mean, I don't really think we had many penalties. Let me pull it up here. Like, I think I don't know if we won the penalty battle, but yeah, we did. 6 to their 7, only 43 yards of penalty yardage. Like, yeah, like if we play that type of game, we can beat anybody. And it's been those little things that have made the difference in these heartbreaking losses that we've had. Why we're at 3-4. So have we turned the page yet? I don't know. But if we do it for 2 games in a row, play that kind of style, regardless of what the scoreboard looks like, if we keep it close and we don't turn the ball over, we're right there at time of possession, at the very least, have it 50-50 or so. and we don't take many penalties, I'm going to feel very good about this team moving forward for the second half of the year, and starting to expect that if we get that sort of same play against Utah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's going to be really important. So can we stop the run? Can we figure that out when it comes to that? It's going to be interesting. We'll be previewing Utah next week. But I wanted to kind of last segment of tonight's show, going to the bye week, Dave. We're kind of at that midway point, as far as the season goes. I want to know from you, who is your offensive MVP so far, and who is your defensive MVP thus far this season? So let's hear it first, Dave. What does your offensive MVP look like?
Right here, baby. It's Jordan Seaton.
There it is.
Baby, that's right. He's going to be an All-American, midseason All-American, man. The best tackle in all of college football. And he's a fantastic leader for us as well. Fantastic captain. And again, I think that he's just taken such a tremendous step this year. He truly is a professional right now. And can't put into words, I think, how important he is for this program. He truly has become, in my opinion, right now, like the face of the Coach Prime Colorado Buffaloes now moving forward. And yeah, I think it's going to be a tremendous thing when he's like a top 5 pick here in a year and a half or so.
Buddy with the 77 seat in Heisman as an offensive lineman.
How about that?
I think next year, man, he just comes out and absolutely dominates.
We need to start a Heisman campaign.
Heisman campaign.
That would be amazing.
That would be hilarious. You know, I don't want to copy, but as far as the offensive side of the ball, I mean, there's nobody else that stands out more than Jordan Seaton. It's just an absolute fact. You know, our receivers are pretty even across the board. There's nobody that really stands out. I mean, Joseph Williams finally had a standout game. You know, Sincere Brown had his standout games early in the season. But, you know, running back wise, we've been going through so many different running backs that there's nobody to really latch on to. You know, Kaidon Salter, if he had brought this second half performance through the whole season, he'd be the MVP right now. And Colorado would probably be, you know, undefeated or only having one loss at that point if he was able to do that. So there's nobody else in this team on the offensive side of the ball that is more deserving, and the only one that is deserving of any type of accolades when it comes to midseason. And that's Jordan Seaton. Yes. So I have to repeat that. There's no one else that I can pick. Defense, we might be a little bit different on that, but we'll see. Dave, what are your thoughts on the defensive side of the ball as far as your midseason MVP for defense?
So this one's kind of different. It's kind of different. But I kind of view him as like part of the defense, I guess, when it fits my agenda. It's Damon Greaves, dude. Yeah. Like, I think that he has just been fantastic in helping flip field position when our offense has, you know, stalled out, and really pinning teams back. You know, even though sometimes they've scored on us, man, they've had to go 98, 95, 90 yards. You know, he's had so many good punts within the 20, not just the 20, within the 10-yard line. He's been fantastic. I would imagine that he's in consideration to be, you know, the Big 12 first team punter. So, yeah, it kind of plays into defense. You know, I'll give you the assist on, you know, the real defensive player.
I know. I was going to say, I was like, right? Yes, so, we're not going to repeat.
Yeah, I wasn't going to do that, but I know we probably weren't going to have a special teams MVP, but I just really needed to shout out Damon Greaves because, yeah, I think he's been very, very important to this team.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I'll go with the obvious one on the actual defensive side of the ball, and it's the leader of this defense. It's the guy that makes the plays. He determines how good the defense is going to be that day. Slow start to the season, but has come on strong, has had the most consistent performances across the season. And that's, of course, number 7, Tafiq Bayard. Tafiq Bayard, what I love, Dave, about him is he is a leader through and through. The guy is a dog. He, you know, in the losses, he has taken full responsibility, Dave, when the defense has made poor plays. I absolutely love to see that from him. And he goes out there and shows it by playing. He makes plays. And he does what he needs to do, and nothing bigger than getting an interception one-handed, in the red zone when you're up, a few points, and a touchdown would put the other team in the lead. Like, we could go down the list of what a clutch play. But as Buddy said here, triple sevens, baby. Triple sevens on the
Love that.
The MVP chats for our mid-year most valuable players and impact players. Absolutely fantastic. I'm glad we have him. And guys, we got him for another year. Okay. We've got him for another year. He has another year of eligibility. I almost guarantee he's coming back. I don't think he's going to jump to the NFL. I don't think he's had that kind of season to get that kind of attention yet. And I think coming back would be absolutely fantastic for him. He could come back, be the anchor of that defense, just like Cameron Silman Craig did, when he came back again and did all that. I think that's absolutely awesome to see. So I'm really excited to see what happens on the back half with him. And I hope he continues to play and stay healthy, stay healthy moving forward.
Jordan Seaton, Bayard, Greaves. I think these are all NFL buffs, man. On the
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think, yes. And that is a good sign of MVPs, are guys that we could see playing on Sundays already moving forward. Dave, I got one more question for our midseason stuff. I want you to let me know, what is your most surprising storyline about the first half of the Buffs? Had you told yourself this summer that this happened, you would be the most surprised about when it comes to this team?
Well, I'm going to keep this thing positive because we've already talked about all the negatives for all these weeks. Okay. Not talking negative after a win, baby. Man, I don't want to steal it, but I'll steal it. Dude, I have to double down on how darn good this offensive line is, man.
Oh, man. See, we're just on the same page. We're on the same page.
I got another one. If you want to break
No. You go with that one. I can pull another one out. Okay. But that is a good one for sure.
Yeah, dude. The offensive line is like the strength of this offense. I mean,
who would have known?
To me, it was like the biggest question mark coming in this season. That was the biggest reason why I didn't want Julian Lewis to play early. And I mean, they have answered every question. I think Zarian McGill has gotten a lot better as the season's gone on. And granted, like maybe our right tackle play, if you want to nitpick, it hasn't been to the level of maybe the other four guys, but we've gotten so much better right tackle play than what we've had over the last couple of years. And yeah, I had to put out a video on, I think I did on Monday, just shouting out Gunnar White, man, just Coach Prime, because people want to say Coach Prime only hires his friends who suck at coaching football. But you know what? He's hired some people that are also his friends that have done a great job. I think he would call Gunnar White a friend of his, and Gunnar White has been, he's a prodigy, baby. He is an offensive line guru. And Marshall Faulk's been a pretty good hire too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, Dave, our offensive line leads the country in most time allowed for their quarterback with 4.44 seconds a snap.
Beautiful.
I mean, God, Shador's like dying in Cleveland over there, watching this all unfold here in Boulder and probably thinking to himself, maybe I should have found some like loophole medical red shirt or like something to come back for one more season with this team.
I wish it could have happened, man.
What would have happened? I mean, if he knew he was going fifth round, don't you think he would have tried to do something like that? Like,
the Black Chad Powers.
There it is. That would have been sick.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, that is an absolute storyline. I don't think we would have been saying that at all, come the start of the season. I guess I can kind of piggyback off of that one for me on the surprising one, but just how strong and good our running backs have been.
Yeah.
Even though they don't have the total yardage, I mean, our running back room is averaging over 4 yards a carry cumulatively between all of them. And so just seeing that no matter who we put in there, they were succeeding. That tells me, Dave, that Marshall Faulk, like you said, one of the best hires from this offseason,
yes.
At what he's getting these running backs to do. Because let's be honest, the offensive line, while it is absolutely amazing pass blocking, it hasn't been the greatest run blocking. And so you have to give a lot of props to your running backs for running so hard, picking the right holes, doing what they need to really gain the extra couple yards. I mean, how many times this season have we seen a running back get stuffed in the backfield? I mean, I can think maybe on one hand how many times that's happened in the first half. No, and that's what you want to see. You want your running backs gaining 3 to 4 yards a carry on every down. That's going to make it easy on your quarterback. It's going to make it easier on your offense. Even though we've had mistakes there, it still gives us a chance. Yeah. And that is what we needed to see. So I think between a combo of the offensive line, the running back room, what we've been able to do there, that has been the shock to me that we didn't think happening, this summer when we were previewing this team and looking at it. So I'm absolutely excited and happy that that's happening when it comes to Colorado. Absolutely. Totally. Okay, Dave, let's get to some questions and chats here. Of course, guys, remember, I've been trying to keep up on your chats as best we can. You want your chat read, super chatted up, of course.
On Russ's channel. I don't got
That's right, because YouTube doesn't like me right now. Dave's in YouTube timeout still.
Yeah.
YouTube jail, trying to figure that out. So that's where we're at. So what do you think here, Dave? So Northside says, so there's 39 seniors leaving, plus adding players to the portal. He could see 51 players in total leaving this program going to next year. What do you think about that number?
Sure. Sure. I mean, it could happen.
Is that a bad thing?
Man, I don't know. Depends on how we finish the year. We finished the year with 3 wins. I'm not going to complain. So, yeah.
I don't think it's that. It happens to every team, guys. It happens to teams all the time. Like, if the 51 players are not as impactful as the players staying, does it even matter? Yeah. Like, does it even matter? Like, the list of players that I gave you that are going to stay that I think could be impactful of this team, you look at the receivers room, you look at the running back room, you look at the offensive line, you look at the defensive line. I'm telling you guys, London Merritt, Alex McPherson are going nowhere. Jordan Seaton is going nowhere, guys. I love Jordan Seaton today and well off. He was talking to Bucky on the sidelines, talking about how, he's started to make a change the last couple weeks. He's moved away from materialistic items. He's more focused on his career and his future and what long-term wealth he can build up. Like, that tells me that he's a guy that I'm not looking to go jump to some team to, be at Ohio State or whatnot. He's right now in the conversation nationally to be the best tackle in the country. He has no reason to jump to that at this point and start off at a new team and potentially ruin his chances of moving forward. Like, who knows what happens by jumping? The grass isn't always greener. There's plenty of players on this team that are going to stick around, and they're going to be the players that are going to be most important to stick around, Dave. And then we're going to need to just fill depth on this roster.
That's the thing, man. Building depth. I think the biggest focus, again, this ain't rocket science, but it's got to be the trenches still. And in linebacker, man, really getting a difference maker at linebacker would be massive. Maybe it is Rodney Colton as a freshman. We'll have to see. But that's a very hard position to come in and play as a true freshman. But, yeah, man, we'll see a lot of people leave. We got a lot of seniors. That's why I want the high school class to be bigger. And again, I think we'll get some really solid portal players, man.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I said, I think what you're going to see in the portal this time around, I think you're going to see 4 or 5 impact players, i.e. your players that are going to get a lot of NIL money to come. And then the rest of it's going to be depth spots. And then we're going to fill out with the young guys we have in the roster already, the returners that are going to come in. We're going to get 20 to 25 impactful high school players that I think will be able to come in and be an impact day one. Gavin Mueller, with how he is, he's going to get to compete with the tight ends that we have. Emmanuel Ruffin, he'll get to compete on that offensive line. I think he's ready to go on that end. And some of the other players that we're going after, I think have a chance to be a part of that as well. So you guys don't need to worry when it comes about that.
Yeah, man. Nah, if we win a bowl game. We win a bowl game this year. I'm telling you, the portal is gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. That's what I'm talking about, man. Let's just Let's just get our 6 wins, 6, 7 wins, and win the bowl game this year. Win it.
And Trickster coming with an interesting one here. I think North Texas head coach should be our OC. He was formerly the Washington State head coach who recruited Cam Ward and John Mateer. Does he have any connections with Prime is the question. That's what you've always got to look for.
Davis. Is that it?
That's an interesting one. I
mean, I really like what North Texas is doing. Let's see here. Offensive coordinator. He coaches wide receivers too, so the people who want Jason Phillips gone be happy. And then we could hire a quarterbacks coach, a direct quarterbacks coach.
And I've been banging the drum of just hiring Julian Lewis's quarterback coach to be the quarterbacks coach at Colorado.
I like the idea of Cordell Stewart, what people brought up last week.
The question is, I would love to get a chance to ask Cordell Stewart, would he ever be interested in doing that?
Yeah.
I really do. He hasn't been around the team as much this year, though, Dave, if you haven't noticed. Like, I felt like last year he was here almost every weekend. I haven't seen him once this season on the sidelines for the Buffs.
Oh, really? Yeah, well, we don't necessarily got Shador at quarterback right now.
True. But Cordell also has a good connection with Juju, so that's why I thought
he's not on the field either.
I know, I get that. Yeah, Jamel, we are stuck one more year with a Pac-12 bowl game. This is the last year of the Pac-12 agreement. So the chances of us playing a Big 12 team in a bowl game is very high, which I absolutely hate.
Get ready for the Alamo Bowl, baby.
Alamo Bowl 3.0 against BYU again. You watch. That's going to happen.
I'm
the love of God.
Banking on it, man. That's the CU game I'm going to this year. Alamo Bowl.
I want a Florida team. I want to play a Florida team. I want a Florida team in a bowl game. Please.
No.
So yeah.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No. Is Bieniemy in good standing with CU?
No.
Dude, he already got fired from the university once.
Guys, Bieniemy is not in good standing anywhere. Okay, let's be honest at this point. The guy has torpedoed his career.
Dude, his whole reputation is just being a jerk to work with. He might be great on camera, like great in the, Gospel According to Mac documentary. He was fantastic in that, man. He was a great player for us, no doubt. But
his coaching style has not done well.
Dude, his coaching style, and I feel like it just would not fit. And he's already been here once.
Yeah. No. Bieniemy is not. Don't even bring his name up for any position at Colorado at this point.
He's with the Bears right now.
Yeah, well, and even then, he's had some already viral videos and social media stuff that it's just it continues his reputation. The guy is not. He is not a coach that you. And again, he is not a coach that you want with college players. Okay, there's one thing being with NFL players, with college players, with that attitude and the things he does, that would be absolute disastrous. Absolute disastrous thing. Yeah, Bieniemy is not like that. Dave, you're getting a lot of great comments here.
And, for being lazy on the beard, I did not expect to be getting all these glowing reviews.
Glowing reviews on Dave's beard. That's going to be the new podcast we're going to start in the off season. We're going to just call it Dave's Beard.
I'm not shaving my beard till we win a bowl game.
Oh, good God, Dave. That is... Also, another thing besides Livingston and Pecco and O-line coaches, isn't all the other position coaches' contracts end in January? You are correct, Trickster. Pretty much everybody's contracts are up except for the guys that we just brought in this past year. So we very well could see a lot of the coaches just walk in a respectful manner. Okay. I think that's never happening.
No way. Dude.
No,
he's one of the best DCs in the NFL.
He's in line for another head coaching job, which I think is crazy. I think VJ just needs to be a defensive coordinator. That is what he's good at.
Yeah, it's like Wade Phillips, baby.
Yep.
Dude, I love VJ. VJ
ain't going
Buffs
anywhere.
Well with his success in Denver.
That's right. VJ, both Buffs and Broncos connections, supporting it well. Got a lot of people thinking that Cam Michael's going to leave in the portal, head back to Georgia. That could be one we could see happen. I mean, it wouldn't be the end of the world. I'm just saying we're very connected to these guys and their names. He hasn't done anything in 2 years.
Can't stay healthy.
he can't stay healthy. So guys, I get it. You guys are attached to these players sometimes because of, how connected we are to the program, how much information we get. But there's going to be guys like Cam Michael that are going to leave that are not as impactful as you think, and it's not the end of the world.
Yeah,
okay.
They might go on to have success elsewhere. I think Asad Wasim's having a really good year this year for, albeit at FAU, but he's still having a great year, man. I loved Asad Wasim, man.
We don't have to play in the Alamo Bowl, but because of the Pac-12 contracts, certain conferences have to fill certain bowls, and the Alamo Bowl is one of them that has a Pac-12 spot in it. So, unfortunately, the chances of an Alamo Bowl appearance is very high.
Yeah.
It's very high for one more year, guys. I'm sorry to say.
We can get to 6
It's the dumbest thing ever.
Because the Valero, the Alamo Bowl, they're like, man, we're going to get the viewership, man, asking Colorado to be in there. So we'll get the invite, man.
Dave's Halloween costume next year. Tom Hanks from Castaway. Think you can do it.
I need like my own Wilson that I have here on the back shelf, right?
I know you need to add one as the beard grows long. If we get through the season and we don't win a bowl game, Dave, and you have to like keep it going, I think that's the time when a Wilson ball makes an appearance on the back shelf there.
Yeah, Holiday Bowl would be fun though, man.
Yes, I'd much prefer that. But I just don't want to play a Big 12 team. I don't. It's not gonna, sell seats.
I know it's not the first year of the conference anymore, so.
By the way, I just saw they came out, by the way, with the TV ratings, Dave, through 7 weeks for Big 12 teams. Colorado, of course, is leading the Big 12 with an average of 2.39 in the ratings. This past week, they were number 2 in the ratings, 1.44. TCU versus Kansas State was 1.5, and they led the way. So a little light this week. But Colorado, of course, leading the way at 2.39. And what's funny, Dave, is pretty much all the people in the top half are all the teams that have played Colorado.
Yeah.
For obvious purpose reasons.
We should we start going, Texas and demanding a higher split? That's
what I've been asking for is, when is somebody going to take charge and start a Buffs network?
Right.
Because let's be honest, as content creators for the Buffs, we know that the eyes are on the Buffs. A 24-hour news channel partnered with Well Off, partnered with Reach the People, partnered with Chico, you, myself, heck, get DNVR included in that. Like, we could create a conglomerate online news network of just Buffs talk 24/7, and it would absolutely kill. Dude, it would.
Yes. I want to be the Stephen A. Smith on that channel. But for real, we could broadcast our games ourselves on YouTube and make bajillions and millions of dollars, right? That's what I'm talking about, man.
I'm waiting.
That'd be a lot of fun. I could do I would do my own live play-by-play, but it would not be the main cast. It would be not the Manning cast, because can't break it down like that, but it would be a lot of fun, man. I just want to be the PA guy. I want to be the PA guy.
Derek Thomas, to both of us, what makes you guys think that Cam Mike is leaving CU next year?
Just if he's one more playing time, or like a greater path to playing time. And it seems like we've kind of moved around his position quite a bit. So we've had him in the gray jersey. We've had him at wide receiver, at running back. I would like to see him at safety because our secondary needs speed badly. But yeah, sometimes, hey, if you don't right now, it kind of feels like they don't know what to do with him. That's kind of
they're trying to find where he fits because they want him on the field. That's the thing that they're showing. They want him on the field this year. They want to see if they can put him somewhere to help this team out. And there's that. Trickster, as far as this question, no 5 stars. Never sleep on Coach Prime when it comes to 5 stars.
Dude,
until National Signing Day. Until National Signing Day, nothing is out of the question when it comes to Colorado recruiting. It happens every year. Every year, there's at least 5 or 6 guys that we get that we weren't even thinking about come National Signing Day week, okay? We weren't really thinking about London Merritt and Alex McPherson until the very end. We weren't thinking, of course, of Cormani McLean. Jordan Seaton didn't really start to get that push until closer to signing day. So don't worry about that when it comes to what's going on, okay?
Yeah. But But yeah, give me a 5-star DB, please. Please. That's what I'm talking about. But
I would
yeah,
lose it if we got one after, the
get
Cormani
us
debacle.
25 guys. Get us a non-sexy Utah Utes recruiting class with a handful of 4-star guys, then the rest rounded out by 3 stars. And you know what we've done good? You know what Coach Prime's actually good at? Developing high school kids. Shown that he's good at it. So let's lean into this thing. If we need to slow cook this, thing a little bit longer than we thought, yeah, it's cool, man. I'm all about it. As long as it leads to massive success, which I think it will.
It really will. It really will. I'm going to be excited to see what happens moving forward. Okay, well, that kind of goes through all the questions. Dave, anything else you want to talk about? What do you got planned for this weekend? Anything, for the bye week, even if it's not YouTube related?
It's the bye week. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do, man. I'm sure I'll do a live stream of some sort on Saturday. Maybe a watch along for part of another game if we
BYU Utah. BYU Utah this weekend,
the
Dave.
Holy War, maybe
the Holy War this weekend, baby.
Is it on Friday night or Saturday?
Oh shoot, let me see. BYU Utah. Let's see. Somebody will get me in the chat. The 18th. What's the 18th? What day is the 18th?
Dude, I don't
16th, 17th. Saturday night, 6 p.m.
Dude, I'm gonna have to watch that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that will be a lot of fun. Last year's Holy War went down to the final drive, and then the Utah AD lost his mind, said it was stolen from us. Oh, give me a break! You just gave up like a 90-yard game-winning drive, whatever it was. Maybe it was like 30 or 70 yards because I think they kicked like a game-winning field goal. I can't remember. Yeah, well, we should do some more evaluating, man. But
yeah. I know I'm excited to watch that game and see what Utah looks like because Utah's been all over the board this year, Dave. I mean, Utah has been all over the board this year. They've looked amazing at times and they've looked absolutely piss poor at times. And so I'm going to be very interested. The fact that we get 2 weeks, I really like that. The fact that we're in Utah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all. But hey, we're having the 5th-year senior. He better be able to come and be able to really be a part of that. Okay.
Yeah. And I guess Derek Thomas.
Yes.
Just one more thing. I'm not saying I might have misspoke. I'm not saying he's going to enter the portal, Cam Michael, but I'm saying if he does, it just wouldn't surprise me again because we've kind of brought him all over the place. But right now, I'm expecting our freshmen to stay. I'm expecting them to stay. So Farrakhan, nah, man. Farrakhan's been getting on the field. That says something as a true freshman.
Yeah. And just so you guys know, Farrakhan's dad and his relationship with Prime, Farrakhan's not leaving, guys. I don't care what you think. He's not leaving either. So there you go. So BYU, good team. However, the games I've watched, they are pretty darn lucky to be undefeated right now. I mean, a lot of teams we could say that. I mean,
yeah.
I dare not even speak the words of Georgia Tech to not get the Georgia Tech fans to come in here because I could say the same thing about them. But all I hear from them is, oh, your 7-point loss was lucky and we really won by like 50, but it didn't show on the scoreboard, because we had 3 turnovers and that ended the game. Like, it was a 7-point victory. You're a good team. Colorado's a lot better than their record shows, if we're being completely honest.
We just got to finish games, man. We got the talent. Got the talent to win.
Yeah. So there's that. So missed the live till now. Already know there's been no Brady. You're the first Ponder mention. How dare you?
You win a game and thank God the Ponder talk goes away. Thank God.
Which is crazy because Ponder was balling today in the scrimmage.
Oh, dude, man, we're talking about
couple of deep throws.
We're talking about practice. No. You want to know my biggest surprise of the year? That when we got terrible quarterback play in these games, blowing 14-point leads, it wasn't, hey, let's play Julian Lewis. Or, hey, maybe we should just go back to style, right? No, it was, let's play the walk-on quarterback, man. That's the 4th stringer. Let's see what he can do. You got 5 stars sitting on the bench, man. That was the biggest surprise of the season, dude. I don't, and even the questions, man. How are we gonna make sure Ponder stays? It's like becoming a meme. I think it's becoming a meme. It's almost like a shit post. I think, right? Right? Is it
Yeah.
becoming like a shit post? But there are like people who genuinely believe it because they've watched live videos. Man, we're talking about practice.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. Today, Ponder called himself the Black Flutie during practice.
Oh,
No,
man.
this is also what was happening today. And Coach Prime, by the way, said this in the meeting. He said that today was about getting your portal tape ready. Because he was like, I know some of you are already entering the portal. I know you are, and we're going to help you. We're going to do what we need. We'll cut up practice tape today, but use this as your chance to create some portal tape.
Well,
So,
man, I hope it was Ponder, man, because yeah, I'm ready for that agenda to go. So hopefully you can go somewhere and play.
Kyle
Give himself a
Carpenter did ball
scholarship.
out today. He did ball out today. So we'll see. But he could be somebody that hits the portal as well. You know, I don't know why I hate more 47 or 22 on a quarterback.
47. No
Oh
doubt.
my God. That's still
47
the
is
worst thing
diabolical.
ever. It is still the worst thing ever.
What
my
number was
gosh.
Jared Lorenzen?
Oh gosh. You put
I'm
me on
looking
the
this
spot
up.
there. You're putting me on the spot there.
22. Yeah.
22 again.
Yeah. Yeah. He's 22.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
everyone says
correct.
47. Definitely 47. Well, it's definitely changed, Dave. It's definitely changed from a week ago when people were clamoring for Ponder to play.
I know, man. It's beautiful. I'm glad I don't have to get on here. I know everybody's getting sick of my complaining. So I'm so glad I don't have to complain this week. It's awesome. We got a victory, baby.
Well, okay, Dave. We're gonna call it for now. Of course, guys, be back next Wednesday. We'll get to preview Utah, talk about that more. Hey, join me on Monday for the call-in show where we'll preview Utah. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on the Utah game, what you think, especially after the Utah BYU game. So homework this weekend, everybody, watch that BYU-Utah game. You're going to need to watch it, okay? It's going to be great football to watch, and it's going to help us prep and prepare and understand what we've got next week with our matchup against Utah. And of course, watch the Buffs in the NFL this weekend. Jimmy Horn finally balling out, getting his opportunities. Travis Hunter looking better and better each week. However, I'm still pissed off because Trevor Lawrence can't do jack in the NFL, that he's completely wasting Travis's chances at a Rookie of the Year. Had he had a competent quarterback, Dave, I mean, Travis would be easy front runner for Rookie of the Year.
Be over, man. I'm right there with you. And yeah, we can look at Dylan Gabriel get another loss this week.
Yeah, I think we are, because by God, Dave, that was that horrendous. Literally hitting his receiver in the head when he's not looking. Like, what the heck? Like, that is embarrassing stuff that we saw out of the Browns. But hey, he's a perfect fit for the Browns, if we're being honest, Dave. He's a perfect fit for the Browns. He encapsulates the Browns as an organization right there.
He does. He does, man.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you guys for joining us this week. Hey, make sure on your way out, hit that like button if you haven't already on both channels. Hey, jump over to Dave or my video, depending on who you're watching right now. Ooh. Run it in the background. Go and like it. Go and subscribe to the other channel. It helps us out. Let's double up those views this week. Okay, we appreciate you guys. We thank you so much for being a part of it. For the Buff Blitz, as always, Go Buffs.
Go Buffs.